Hey guys, this is Foolish Phil here. Another Monday. It was a good sports weekend. Got to spend some time with the family and also watch some good sports. Starting off with the PGA, I was kind of wondering what Tiger would do, and I was just so happy with how well he played. Honestly, he kind of blew that tournament. It was right there for him. It's easy for me to say that since I'm on the couch watching, but Saturday morning, he started off in those glorious, pristine conditions and couldn't get much going on those wet, slow greens and just putting darts all over the place with irons. He only got a few under, then a 4 under on Saturday's third round, and then yesterday he pulled off 6 under. I mean, the best final round he's had at a major. It's hard to critique it, but the golf gods just weren't with him. If you saw some of the highlights or watched it, he had one of those putts that just stopped like one roll short from going in for a birdie, and another one on the back nine. He had a putt for par, lip out and go the other way. I mean, just perfect putts, just not quite going in his way. It's like there's 2 strokes right there, and he lost by 2 strokes. So, but either way, it was lots of fun. It was really good to see him back playing well. The last 2 majors, he's finished in the top 10, so hopefully he can keep that going into next year. It's 8 months though till Augusta, so he's got to figure out how to get his drive going. His drive was terrible. As soon as he got his drive going, boom, birdie, birdie, birdie. At least on the back nine. So it's Monday. Talk a little bit about college football. I haven't talked about college football too much yet. A couple of things that came to mind. I don't know why Michigan, I guess, is doing their games against Notre Dame. I mean, what's the point? You're playing such a tough competition in Notre Dame. Why are we playing them? Why aren't you playing your Central Michigan, Western Michigan, Eastern Michigan, whoever? I don't care. Why are you playing a tough, top-notch program? What, to get on TV? Michigan's always on TV. Why are you playing someone tough? I mean, this is so stupid. When we play Michigan State, Ohio State, Wisconsin, Penn State, Nebraska, all these teams, why are you playing tough non-conference games? It makes no sense. I see Michigan State, they're starting off with Utah State. Yeah, that's a great first game of the year. Why? Because they should win that no problem. I mean, you get your freshmen in, you get sophomores in, whatever you want to play. You should have no problem winning that game. Michigan, you're going into a cutthroat environment at Notre Dame, first game of the year. What are you thinking? Play cupcakes. Just play cupcakes. No one complains about Alabama when they play the Citadel, okay? Just play cupcakes. Alright? Someone was asking me what I thought about Michigan, too, and their departures. We've had a lot of departures lately. Tyrone Wheatley Jr., Cream Walker, Crawford. We've had people leaving, you know, and McDoom just left last week, too. Like, what's going on? Well, honestly, I think it's two things. The biggest thing is the kids just aren't seeing their playing time. They're not seeing the reps. They had spring ball. They're like, I'm not getting much action. Now they're starting to have fall practice. And, you know, they'll ask the coaches, where am I on the depth chart? And you know what? These new recruits are above them. They're getting more action. And the players can see it. They're like, why am I going to stay here to be a backup? I can transfer, play immediately at a JUCO college or one below the Bowls Championship Series. And you know what? I can play. I don't have to sit out a year. They want to play. They've been playing football for years. So it's not surprising they want to move on to go and play. So I'm not really that concerned about these players leaving. One positive note I saw today was that Tice Woods, a DE out of Bellevue, Michigan, he verbal committed to Michigan yesterday. Pretty good. Another defensive line product. And hopefully Madison can get that the most out of that player. He was at the Grand Valley camp close to me over here on the west side of the state, and he looked pretty good there by what I was able to see. So I'm glad we could get a kid to sign up. He didn't have many Division I top-tier programs offers, but he got Michigan, and he said Michigan was his dream school. So you know what? Anytime the Michigan staff offers a player and they accept, I'm happy with it. I'm not really that concerned about stars. Don't get me wrong. If we get, Hill out of Oklahoma, who's a 5-star to come, if he comes, it's between us and Alabama. If he comes to Michigan, great. I'm not, like, oh, who cares about stars then? I'm like, well, it shows he's a really, really good player. But you know what? Stars aren't everything. You gotta have heart and desire too. Just look at Michigan State. D'Antonio gets great production out of his, what you might say, less than 4 or 5 stars. He's a really good coach. I respect him. And you know what? Michigan, we can have some 3 stars, and let's turn them into something really good too. Okay. Another black eye going on for the Big Ten, of course, is this whole situation in Maryland now. DJ Durkin, his strength coaches, his other coaches, like, they're working their plays too hard, cursing at him, yelling at him. They had an O-lineman die over the summer. He had, heat exhaustion. He passed away. And now Durkin's on administrative leave. I mean, what is up with the Big Ten and their poor coaching decisions? I mean, he's on administrative leave. He's fired. I mean, I don't even know what. There's nothing to save him. It's all top down there. Those are his trainers. So that's his staff doing it. He knows what's happening. And you know what? He didn't do anything to stop it. You have this one side where football's like, oh, hard. Do the best you can. Work through it. The other side's like, let's be realistic. Okay? So you got to find it in the middle. I heard some people on Twitter saying, oh, it's another Urban Meyer disciple being a jerk. Well, he coached at Michigan too under Harbaugh. So, you know what? Just hold DJ Durkin accountable to him and what he's doing at Maryland and his staff at Maryland. Don't worry about if he was under Urban Meyer or under Jim Harbaugh. What did DJ Durkin do? Speaking of Urban Meyer, we're into our second week. I think they said the group looking into the situation said they'd have 14 days to look at it. Well, I think this is the second week. Supposedly they're going to talk to that Zach Smith guy this week and see what he has to say. Hopefully he can say a little bit better than what he did on his interview, because his interview just looked really dumb, saying how Urban Meyer knew since 2015 and so. The longer this goes on, the more it just feels like Urban Meyer's just going to get hit with a couple game suspension and then he'll be their coach. That just seems like what it feels like now. I thought he was going to get fired. I thought he was. And I'm still thinking he might, but more and more it's creeping. He's just going to get a suspension. So we'll see how that plays out. Oh, one little other side note here. Apparently North Carolina football got busted for selling these Nike Jordan shoes, and they're worried that maybe Michigan sold some of them too. If Michigan players sold their shoes, what are you guys doing? You know you can't do that. You're going to get some suspensions for that, so that's a big underlying current heading into the Notre Dame game. Did any Michigan players sell the shoes? And if they did, they're out for the Notre Dame game. That might just be like Florida last year, where they had some suspensions for key players, and yeah, they ended up getting crushed by Michigan. So, you gotta wait and see how that plays out. Hopefully it's going to be nothing significant, but we'll see how that goes. One final note. Since we're kind of brought up the NCAA there, on one final note on the NCAA, I don't know why these Power 5 conferences don't just say, forget you NCAA, we're just going to make our own ultimate conference. Why do we have to follow along these stupid little rules where you can't, go back to Ohio State, you can't sign your name? It's your name. You can't sell your name in exchange for tattoos. Now, Michigan players, they get these shoes. They can't sell them. They're their shoes. I mean, the NCAA has so many stupid rules, and they kind of get you tripped up along the way. It's like, when are these Power 5 conferences just going to be like, forget this. Let's leave the NCAA and just do our own thing. I mean, how hard is it? Forget the NCAA. Get rid of them. All they are is this big, overshadowing puppet. They don't do anything. They're so worthless. If they investigate anything, it takes years and years and years, and by the time they finally get to it, it's already 5, 6 years later. Just look at USC, look at what's happening with Louisville now from their championship. Like 4 or 5 years later, the NCAA finally decides something. It's like, it's over. Ugh. The NCAA did those new basketball regulations. A couple things I like about how if a player can go to the draft, goes undrafted, they can come back. All that. I like those rules, but they need to go further. It's kind of like, here, we'll give you a little bit, we'll concede a little bit to you just to try to quiet you down. It's a step in the right direction, but it's not, a good solution. And, the Lions looked okay on Friday night. I still wish they had 100 yards rushing. That little stat's going to be with the Lions forever and ever and ever until they get someone who has 100 yards rushing. We had some good runs, though. One nice one called back by a hold. Also, the Tigers won a series versus Minnesota. They didn't get shut out in 3 games. Can you believe it? 3 whole games they didn't get shut out. Why no? Yay, go Tigers. It was cool, though, seeing Jack Morris get his Hall of Fame and get his ceremony. Again, Jack Morris was really before my sports caring days. I knew him. I've probably seen him pitch a couple times, but he's not really in my generation of sports. So, okay, good for him, but didn't really care. Alright, I know that was a quick wrap-up, maybe not so quick, of the weekend and what was happening. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you have any thoughts or comments, what do you think about Michigan's schedule upcoming? Are they playing too hard of a schedule? Do you think that Urban Meyer's going to be fired, or is he going to be safe? Anything, any thoughts, comments, anything you would like to know the foolish opinion on, just put in a comment below. If you like it, great. Subscribe. Thank you. Again, and always, thanks for watching. Go Blue!